Hello Jiu-Jitsuer, and welcome back for video 2 of this special series on how to build a customized grappling system. I've received a lot of really positive feedback about the first video, so thank you for that, you rock. In this video, we're gonna go through a whole lot of stuff, all designed to specifically walk you step by step through creating your own personalized grappling system that'll take your game to the next level. But if you haven't watched the first video in this training series, I do recommend going back to watch it. There's some really important foundational stuff in that video that's gonna help you understand what we're gonna do in this video. Last time we went over how important it is to use a grappling system. We introduced the action-reaction-result method of analyzing jiu-jitsu techniques, and we stressed the role of flow in developing an advanced grappling style. But real quick, I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you in the next few minutes because I really want you to have everything you need to create your system when you're done. But I also want you to be able to focus without distractions. So I created a downloadable PDF summary for you so you don't need to worry about stopping and take notes every other second. Just sit back, relax, and pay attention. I want this to be as easy as possible. So at the end of this video, go to bjjsystembuilder.com/video and let me know where to send the worksheet. I'll also send you videos 1 and 2 of this training series. Okay, on to business. Look, say this with me. Nobody gets good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by mistake. It takes hard work and dedication. It takes commitment. But what happens when you are putting in the work? You are doing your best. You are dedicated, but your hard work doesn't have the structure or step-by-step process for steady improvement. I'll tell you what happens. You kill yourself paying your dues, but you don't get the payoff you deserve. In fact, one of the biggest challenges in learning jiu-jitsu is that lack of structure. This is how people train jiu-jitsu, right? You show up whenever you can, you warm up, you drill the 2 or 3 moves of the day, and then you roll. I mean, sure, it's fun, but unfortunately, it's not optimal for your learning. It's difficult to see how your system fits together, and it doesn't logically add to what you've already learned, so you can take a step forward instead of like running in circles, chasing the move of the day. And that's not fair. You deserve a payoff for every single minute and every drop of sweat that you spend on the mat. And building a system makes sure that you make consistent and steady progress. In this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that you can use to create your own grappling system, whether you're a brand new beginner or an experienced grappler who wants to raise your game to the next level. Let's get started. The first exercise we're going to use is the storyline strategy. Remember the flow we talked about in the first video? Flow refers to the idea that when moving from one technique to another, the goal is to move seamlessly between the techniques. The reason we're starting with the storyline strategy is to capture that flow. It's one of the best ways to get a series of connected moves into your system for you to build upon. Here's how it works. If you've been training for a little bit, then you can probably imagine how a match between you and an opponent might go. In other words, if I had my video camera out and was recording your match, what would it look like? Let me show you what I mean. Maybe you start standing and you use a hip throw on your opponent to get him down into side control. From there, you use a knee slide mount to secure the top position. But your opponent fights back with an elbow escape and recovers guard. You don't want to just sit there, so you stand up, break the guard, do a knee thread pass into side control. This time, instead of transitioning into the mount, you attack with a Kimura shoulder lock and get the submission. All we did was tell a story. That's it. And we ended up with a 12-part sequence to build the top of. But let me just stop right there. Do not panic if you don't know enough techniques to tell a story like I did. If you're new and don't quite have the experience quite yet, then just start with a flow the instructor teaches, or something from YouTube, or even a flow I just showed you. What's really important is just learn the process. All right, back to our example. Now I want you to write the letter P next to every position in your storyline, like this. Next, take a look at the rest of the movements in your storyline. Some of the movements are performed by you, and other movements are performed by your opponent. Write the letter A next to all the moves performed in your storyline, performed by you, like this. Now write the letter R next to all the moves that your opponent performed in your storyline, like this. Now if you don't have any R's in your storyline, don't worry about it, not a problem. So there you go. The P stands for positions, the A stands for actions, and the R stands for reactions. And that's it. That's the storyline strategy. Pretty easy, right? This is the skeleton that we're going to use to start building your system. In the PDF document I mentioned earlier, I've included a worksheet that you can print out and use for this exercise. Instructions included. So remember to go to bjjsystembuilder.com/video when you're done watching this video. Now we're ready for our second exercise, the position audit. This exercise is just as easy as a storyline strategy. Now, the PDF workbook for this video has a list of grappling positions. If you don't see your favorite position, don't worry, I left some blank spaces for you, so all you have to do is write it down. All you need to do for the exercise is look at each position and then write down 1 to 4 techniques from that position that you know and use. Now, only 1 to 4 positions. The goal isn't to write down a list of every single technique that you know and have ever learned. Only focus on the top 1 to 4 techniques that you really like and want to include in your system. And remember, we're looking for actions, techniques that you do, not that your opponent does to you. The reason we're auditing techniques by position is to gather the building blocks to grow your system in each position. This instantly adds some substance to your flow. Let's look at another example. From half guard top, you might include a knee cut pass, a knee thread pass, a back take, and a Kimura. From top mount position, you might include an arm triangle, a cross choke, and a key lock. And from daily heavy, you might include a back take, a BERIMBOLO, and a triangle choke. After I go through all the positions and I fill in what I want, I might end up with something that looks like this. Some positions are included and other positions are missing. That's just fine for now. And there you are. You're done with the position audit. Again, don't worry if you don't know enough moves to do the position audit. Just keep your worksheet handy and keep it going in Jiu-Jitsu class. Fill out your worksheet with techniques that you learn each day in class. That's much better than having a whole bunch of random techniques thrown at you all at once. Now check this out. Let's go back to our storyline and mix it up a bit. It's all the same moves and positions, we're just changing the layout for viewability. Look at what happens when you add the moves from your position audit to the moves in your storyline. Your system starts coming together. Instead of a bunch of separate moves just floating around in your head, you now have a concrete view of the positions and actions that make up your system. You can see what parts of your game are stronger, where it's weaker, and where you might want to focus on. We're off to a strong start, and for most grapplers, this is the first time they've actually seen what the game really looks like. At this point, you should take a second and pat yourself on the back. Like I said earlier, nobody gets good at jiu-jitsu by mistake. It takes hard work, dedication, and commitment. And by doing these exercises, hey, you're taking an extra step to set yourself apart and get better faster. But we're not done yet. There's a big question that you need to answer if you want to turn your hard work into a functioning system. And it's going to come up again and again throughout your grappling journey. And that question is, what if they do this? Even though you may have a game plan, chances are your opponent has other things in mind and is going to take steps to prevent your system from working. For every technique that you try, your opponent might try to counter your action, leaving you frustrated and back at square one. So in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to manage all of your opponent's counters so you can stay in control and work towards the submission and the win. Like I promised at the beginning of the video, I threw a whole lot at you. We emphasize the importance of structure in learning jiu-jitsu. We use a storyline strategy to connect some techniques together and add flow. Then we use a position audit to add some more meat to your growing system. But before you download the video notes and worksheet to get started, scroll down below this video and let me know the biggest takeaway that you got from this video. This is going to serve 2 purposes. 1, it'll help you review what we went over and improve retention. And 2, you get to look at what some of the other folks from the training are working on that maybe you might not have thought about. There are literally thousands of people going through this training, so I'm sure that your comment could help somebody else out. And remember, to get the worksheets for this video, go to bjjsystembuilder.com/video. Lastly, if you dig what we talked about in this video and think it could help one of your training partners or your other friends, can you do me a solid and share it wherever you share your goodies? That would be awesome. Again, thank you for sticking with me throughout this video training and for being committed to improving your jiu-jitsu. I know you're gonna love the next exercises and examples that we have in the next video. Is the secret to reading your opponent's mind when you're rolling. I can't wait to see you there. Until then, live life, have fun, and train jiu-jitsu.